Hello everyone. Yes, today I want to continue this topic of joy in your life, joy in your system, and then the joyful things around you that will appear. But they will only appear, yes, I'm sorry, but they will only appear when your inside is that's where the root is, that's where the what is the name again? Oh my goodness. This little piece where the tree grows out of. The seed. This is a seed, yeah, that you have to plant in you. And from there it can grow. Only from there your whole life can grow. Yeah, and knowing this makes us, of course, first thinking, maybe it can be. To me it was like, oh really, I can do that? I didn't know that I could do it. To me it was like that. I was like, oh my goodness, if someone would have told me before that I have everything in my hands, I am completely in control of everything and not out of it, thinking, yeah, this is destiny, and where destiny brings me, yeah, that's an outer force that is doing this. Or if I would have known right from the beginning that it's all just not knowing, that it's all just not knowing about how the things really work. Yeah. And still, I can promise you, knowing all about it still makes you do circles in your life, makes you do rounds, circles, but it will be so much more intense and more creative, and you will be more brave, and you will do a lot more. You will be allowing yourself to experience a lot more in your life, to live that life really 100%, and not just on this spare little glooming fire that is almost dying because of not enough oxygen there. It's, yeah. And yeah, I want to encourage you to reach that state and to follow this path of joyful energy, of high energy. Yeah, it is a high energy. It is the energy of a child, a baby, when it just gets born, this seed that is having all this power inside to develop to a huge tree. This little baby developing to a human being, yeah, that is building houses, that is flying airplanes, that is, what humans are capable of doing is crazy. So, yeah. So now I want you to relax, enjoy, be open your mind, open your heart, all your system. Drive down all the walls that are around you, that you have built up to protect you from something that you don't need to protect it. There's nothing to protect. Put it all down and just enjoy listening to Eckhart's talk, to my talks in between, and to the wonderful talk from Bruce and later on. And don't miss your wonderful gift in the end. You will see what it can do to you through all these talks. Enjoy.
Tomorrow, if you haven't done it yet, the moment slightest irritation arises in a situation, anger arises, discomfort arises, ask yourself, what is causing this? And the first answer will be, well, obviously this rude person causes me to be irritated and angry, or this situation that I'm stuck in, the place where I live causes me to be irritated or angry, or a certain condition that my body is experiencing is causing me to be anxious or sad or angry that something has happened to me. And so there's always, the first thing is you see the cause is there, that's the cause. And on the surface level, this is perfectly true, but that's only the surface level. And then, so tomorrow, when you encounter the first little thing that brings about perhaps a minor form of unhappiness in whatever form, to be very alert, like the bird, and say, okay, where does it come from, this situation? Let's say I'm stuck at the airport. My flight's been cancelled. This is a small little situation, not a huge problem, but sometimes you might make it into a huge problem, the mind. So you're there, you feel anxious, angry, irritated. Ultimately, you're suffering. It's a small form of suffering. So you say, well, this situation is... Now, ask yourself, if I did not add any narrative to this situation that I'm finding myself in, how would I experience this situation? Narrative meaning certain thoughts that go through your mind that refer to the situation. Now, if I did not add ultimately, since we're using an airport analogy or example, this narrative you could consider to be excess baggage that you carry around, and you carry it around in your life. You don't know it, and that becomes the burden of me. It becomes the burden of self, of a heavy sense of self. And you start discovering it in a little situation, like at the airport. You start discovering already the burden of yourself. How would I experience this situation without the excess baggage of my narrative with which I judge the situation? Okay, you have plenty of time because your flight has been cancelled, so you can experiment. Say, okay, now I'm here. Now I am letting go of the narrative. Nothing has changed in the situation. The external situation is still the same. On the board it says cancelled. Or maybe you're standing and there's a huge lineup, 100 people or more, which before this was a terrible situation. You're finding yourself absolutely dreadful. This airline, awful, awful airline. That's all gone because you're experimenting with experiencing the situation without the narrative. So you remove the narrative. What remains then is the naked, so to speak, the bare, naked isness of that moment. The isness, the simple isness of the present moment. And nothing has changed externally, but you have put down or let go of the excess baggage in your mind. And what is it that you're now experiencing? You're experiencing your body standing there. You experience your sense perceptions. You look around. You listen to whatever sounds may be there, whatever other sense perceptions may be there, and you realize that you're breathing. Oh, that's interesting. I'm breathing. And then you say, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Actually, without the narrative, I feel alive, I feel I'm breathing, and I'm even beginning to feel a little bit of aliveness pervading my body in this moment. I can feel that there's an aliveness in every cell of the body that pervades it. I feel alive, I'm breathing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Eckhart, for your exercise here. How to deal with the little suffering moments that occur to become bigger and bigger and bigger, and like spoil our whole day, maybe. Like I tell you always, this swirl that starts that swirl down or up starts with a small thing often, not with a huge thing, with just one negative thinking. And yes, Eckhart explained a wonderful example here with this airplane that doesn't come or is cancelled. And I mean, how often do we go on an airplane to fly around? Well, I'm not doing it very often, and if it happens, it's an extraordinary moment situation anyway to fly. So to then deal with it in a certain way, it is kind of easy. So it's a nice example, but to be honest, what are we struggling with really in our life is not an airplane that is cancelled one time. It is a lot smaller things, yeah. It is our everyday life things that repeat and repeat. Like, for example, this saying when your partner, the way your partner maybe doesn't clean the bathroom. Week by week it's the same. You have to face this dirty whatever toilet, or the mirror is sprinkled by his toothbrushing or whatever. These things yeah, these things are the ones that are the little things that make us feel like, oh my goodness, and then make a big thing out of it during the day by finding more and more things that annoy us, that we don't like, and like the whole day then can be completely spoiled by this start of the day, looking to the mirror and seeing these sprinkles. But and that's what you have to do, and it is not easy to go into these little things that cause that annoyed feeling, and then go behind it and ask yourself questions. And this is the best way to do that is doing a coaching session. I mean, I know I make a lot of advertisement here, but that is the truth about it. I know how this is because you don't start sitting there in front of your mirror in the morning. Well, if you do that, I talk about that now, and maybe tomorrow morning you're trying it out. If I catched a certain situation that you also are facing in your everyday life. I mean, I can bring you more examples, like when you're driving the car and in the morning, and people are driving like still asleep, and you think, oh my goodness, go back to sleep, but let me drive here, let me pass, let me go, let me speed up here, and all these. For example, you can also what else? You're at work, the people there, your boss is always saying the same thing, doing the same thing, or whatever, or any colleague is annoying you. And what you can do then, really ask yourself, what is behind that frustration? What is behind that frustration? There is always a complete different reason for that frustration that is already in you. There is not this man coming and passing, or there's not this mirror dirty and you're annoyed. No, there is something behind it. And this is what you have to go. This is what I mean with this tree, this root. If you see the trees, maybe the dirty or the dead trees hanging on the tree, the reason for the dead or is down below. The nutrition, the rain, the something is not right for that tree to be completely in his healthy mood, a state of being. You know what I mean. I mix it up a little bit with being alive, but a tree is alive as well. So when you are not having the right conditions for that tree, it will show it. It will have bad leaves, they will shrinkle, they will, maybe there will parasites coming. All kinds of things can happen if you don't watch out what is going wrong in your life. And all these symptoms of being annoyed of a mirror that is dirty from toothbrush, or the person that does not drive correctly, all these are just symptoms, but behind that is an unhappiness about something else. Yeah, and if you want to find that, there is a wonderful free gift in the end of this whole talk for you that I'm offering for you, which can already help you very much to find that root cause, that missing nutrition in your life, okay? And maybe you know it already, and maybe it comes up now while I'm talking about it. I know this is what happens to me also all the time when I listen to talks and they do these kind of analyzations in their talks. I'm already thinking, oh yeah, I know what it is. And then I get sad because I don't know how to change it. And if you are on that point, then this wonderful gift in the end of this talk is a beautiful help for you. Yeah, come listen till the end, and then don't wait to take that chance. Oh, and to contact me, you will find my email address in the channel description by that way. And now, enjoy listening to this wonderful talk from Bruce, who will go more deeper into what is going on with us and how and why, and yes.
Can change a belief you had your entire life in maybe 15-20 minutes. Many of them create a state of super learning like you were when you were an infant. Yet there is a better and faster way even. The mind has two parts. The subconscious mind is the original brain, and it can process 40 million bits of data from the environment every second. The mind is very powerful and very fast, but it's totally habitual. It's not creative. It can only play back what it learns. In evolution, the front part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, gives rise to consciousness. It's a small piece of the brain that is consciousness. Self or consciousness is an add-on option, and most people don't exercise the option. But note, it can process only about 40 bits of data per second. The subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful. While the subconscious mind is fast, the conscious mind is slow at processing. That's why when you're in an emergency or stress, you operate from this one, because it can operate fast and handle lots of data. But the difference between the two is this is habitual. It is the conscious mind that is creative and can generate free will. The conscious mind can control anything in your entire body. They used to say there were parts of our body that were involuntary control. But now we know that's not true. For example, yogis can regulate their heartbeat, their blood pressure, or body temperature with conscious mind. So while the conscious mind can only handle a few things, The subconscious mind can do many, many thousands of tasks at the same time. Now, recently, neuroscientists are talking about how your unconscious really shapes your life, your decisions. What they say, according to cognitive neuroscientists, we are conscious of only about 5% of our cognitive activity. Most people, 1% of their day is in the conscious mind. So every day, you create only from your creation mind, your conscious mind, only about 1% of what is going on in your life. And therefore, 95 to 99% of your life comes from your programming in your subconscious mind. So what this means is maybe you were the child in the store and your parents said you do not deserve. 95% of the day you will sabotage your life to make sure you do not deserve. And the reason why is the subconscious job is to create reality out of the program. And so therefore, if you have negative programming, 95% of the day, you will create that negative experience in your life. Now here's the problem. The conscious mind and the subconscious mind work together. So whatever the conscious mind focuses on, it can control, but what it's not focusing on, the subconscious mind controls. So most of our day, we are thinking about the future or thinking about the past. That's with the conscious mind. So if the conscious mind's not paying attention to right now, then everything you're doing during the day is being run by the program that you got. But the problem is, because your mind is not, the conscious mind's not paying attention, then it does not see the program being played by the subconscious mind. So most of every day, you are not playing programs that you personally want, you're playing programs that you got from other people. But you didn't see those programs. So when your life doesn't work, you say the universe does not support me. And yet the truth was, it was your own invisible behavior that sabotaged you. So what's important is some people say, well, maybe I just do some positive thinking. Which mind does the positive thinking, conscious or subconscious? The conscious mind, which works at 5% a day with a 40-bit processor. And when you're doing your consciousness, are you paying attention to what's going on? Who's running the show? The experiential programs from the subconscious mind, and that is 95% of the day with 40 million bit processor. Does positive thinking work? Do the math. And the issue is that it's very difficult to take a small processor and overpower the large processor. And you have to use what is called willpower with the emphasis on power to override. Now here is the second catch, or the second problem. The subconscious mind is like a recorder tape player. It records an experience, and then when you push the button, it plays the experience back. So then we take our conscious mind and we want to talk to the subconscious mind and change the program. Now think about it this way. You have a tape player and I give you a cassette with a program. You put the tape in and you push play. And the program is going, you say, I don't like the program. Then you go up to the tape player and you say, change the program, change the program. The issue is the tape will not change by doing that. But there are ways to change the program if you know how to push the record button.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. This is very impressive, isn't it? I mean, hearing this is like, oh my goodness. If you have never heard that before, how much your unconsciousness controls everything in your life that you experience, this message here might kick you really out of your reality, and you might think, I cannot do anything. Knowing this is okay. It's already very tough to understand, and that's what we most of the time we say with destiny. There is destiny, and we cannot do anything. But now Bruce explains why, what is behind that thinking of we cannot do anything. because there is this 95% controlling all our behaviors, emotional behaviors, actual doing behaviors, how we do things, when we do things, how we decide, how we feel. It's all coming from that unconsciousness mind that has been programmed in our first years of our life. And scientists also say even longer, it goes on longer, but the longer means only that you already start with around 7 to behave and feel and act and react the way that your life already goes or answers on these beliefs that you have been programmed to. Yeah. So, how to deal with this? It's a very tough information, but it's also a very good information in a way that there are possibilities to override these programs, but it has to go really deep. Of course, it's like when you have, it's like the roots of trees that are very far down below the earth. Yeah, and this root that is very far down, you don't see it, and if you cut the tree on the top, it will bloom again. It will grow again. It will not stop. It will always grow as long as the root has not been taken out. And what do we have to do? We have to dig into that earth deep down to pull it out softly. You don't have to do it aggressively and hurting. You can just grab with the instrument. You can dig down around it and clean it, and then pull it out softly and take it away, so you can then plant some new plant into the ground. And that's what we have to do here. That is the thing we are doing. In my coaching, I do this work. And of course, just planting this new plant doesn't help either. You have to know what surrounding does it need to let this plant grow, because every plant needs different environment situations, right? Different nutritions, different heat, different humidity. All these things have to be made new, and that is where a coaching will support you in developing these surroundings that are needed to let this new plant grow. First of all, take the old one out, put the new one in, and then give it the nutritions and the perfect conditions that it needs to grow. And then it makes, then you make experiences, and these experiences are like the leaves already coming out and soaking up the sun and allowing it to grow more and more. The first leaf is the first experience of the way that you want to experience your life, that you, your first wish that gets fulfilled or something like that. And it could be very little, and you have to be really aware of what is going on in your world. And this is also where techniques help you, like really meditation, doing this meditative work to really make yourself become into the awareness stadium, like Eckhart is explaining also. The awareness, the consciousness, to be very conscious, to be centered and completely awaken, open to be able to see what is going on, yeah, to see it all, and not just from a perspective, from a kind of a distant perspective, to see more in your life, to not just see with a little focus, with a little lens, yeah. And this is really wonderful to see then a new person with new experiences growing and enjoying this new plant, this new tree that you have become. And there's just coming a wonderful exercise in my head, a wonderful trance meditation. I will do that the next week. I will write that down that I don't forget it, but then I can really do this for you. And now I just want to remind you, last final thing here. Well, first of all, of your free gift that you get from me, which is, yes, a free coaching session, yeah. And now think of who you really are in this world as a human being. You are a wonderful, great individual, just perfect matching lottery win here on this planet. You are that lottery win spot in your life and in all the other lives around you, the people you meet, each person you meet. There is no other being than you, no other perfect match than you are here. Never forget that. And now I wish you a really wonderful second, minute, hour, day, week, year, all this I wish to you all the time. The maximum awareness, and if not, then just write the next second to come back to it. Yeah, as often as, and even every day 1% more. Yeah, that's what I wish to you, to all of us.